Are you thinking about getting a US bachelor's degree but feeling a bit unsure if it's truly worth your investment? Well, trust me, I get it. It's a big, bold decision, especially with those massive tuition fees, living expenses, and all these logistics involved. But here's the thing though, this could be one of the most life-changing choices that you make. Hi, this is Simon Shetty, your host and the founder of Smart Green Card, and in this video, we are going to explore the costs, the benefits, the challenges of studying in the United States as an international student. Plus, I'll share some of those practical tips that you can use to make the best of your experience and ensure that your investment pays off over time. So, why do so many international students choose the US for their higher education? Well, first off, it's about the prestige and the quality. The US is home to some of the top-ranked universities in the world, places like MIT, Stanford, and Harvard. But not just those schools, there are so many other schools and all different tiers and all different geographical locations that gives a good diverse variety of places that you can choose from. These schools offer cutting-edge research and academic programs alike, and they are second to none. But it's not about academics. US universities offer a global network of amazing job prospects. So being able to tap into this vast network actually opens up those opportunities across all of these industries. And let's not forget about the cultural exposure. Studying in the US means that you are experiencing a melting pot of cultures, which not only enhances your personal growth, but it also boosts your professional opportunities down the line. And that is one of the biggest things that I took away during my time as a student in the US. All the different professional interactions and the cultural interactions were an eye-opening experience for me. Now let's talk about the real cost of a US bachelor's degree though, because this is a big one. Tuition fees for international students can range from about $25,000 to $60,000 a year. So yes, you heard it right, $60,000, but it doesn't stop there. It could be even more than that for certain private universities. So public universities tend to be a little more affordable, and private institutions can be quite expensive, even more than those $60,000 per year sometimes as well. And that's just tuition. Now you need to factor in the living expenses. So on average, you'll be spending anywhere between $10,000 to $25,000 a year on housing, food, and transportation, depending on where exactly you study. The city that you are in really makes a difference. So for example, living in New York or California will cost way more. And maybe if you are in a relatively smaller town like Phoenix, where I was, or maybe a smaller town in the Midwest, you'll spend way less than what you'll spend in the West Coast and the East Coast, specifically like New York and California. So it's not just about the money that you spend on tuition and living expenses. Think about the 4 years you'll spend studying instead of working and earning money. So that's kind of like an opportunity loss, so to speak, but not really, because you're studying at that point in time and maybe you're setting yourself up for a much more lucrative career later, but it's still not priced in to that time. And that's valuable time you could have spent gaining job experience and saving up as well. And that feeds into you deciding if that time spent is truly worth it or not. But here's where it gets very, very interesting. While you're studying, many US universities offer multiple internship and co-op opportunities. Though the number and duration can vary significantly between universities and programs, some universities provide up to 3 summer internships. And although internships can offer competitive salaries, the average pay is often lower than the $60,000 to $90,000 range that is commonly advertised out there. But the real value lies in the industry experience, and even more than the industry experience, for those of us who have a slight bit of cultural difference going to the US, getting adjusted to a Western lifestyle in the workplace is something that you will need to get used to, and that brings the opportunity to earn money while pursuing your degree and getting exposed to these learning opportunities as well. And that is where most of the value lies. Just keep in mind that these opportunities can be highly competitive though, especially for international students, because there's very few companies that can actually sponsor visas to take on international students or international people in general. So the number of opportunities are constricted and the number of people competing for that is super high. That's something that you'll need to factor in. And also visa restrictions, like I said, will limit your options in a lot of cases. So I don't want you to get surprised when it happens. I want you to be proactive and make sure that you price that into your decision and the amount of effort that you put in as well. So regardless, this is an excellent way to boost your resume and gain these hands-on experiences that you'll probably not get anywhere else, that will give you a head start in this full-time job market search type of situation that you eventually go to. Now, let's talk a little bit about the return on investment, because most of you, I'm sure, are engineers and you will be like, okay, I've invested this much money, what will be my ROI? And to be honest, that's what I thought about as well. And if you think about ROI, it comes in a lot of different ways. Yes, studying in the US costs a lot, but it's also one of the best investments that you can actually make. Think about it. A degree from a top US university is highly respected worldwide. Whether you're looking for work in the US or you come back home, employers will kind of notice that you have a degree from a prestigious institutions, and that has its own value in opening some doors. And guess what? Studies show that graduates with US degrees earn significantly more than peers from other countries overall when you look at job opportunities across the world. And US universities offer a program called Optional Practical Training, or OPT, which actually allows international students on an F1 visa to work in the US for about 12 months after graduation. Additionally, for students in STEM fields, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, there is an additional 24-month extension, allowing for a total of about 36 months of practical training that you can get. Now, imagine getting 3 years of full-time US work experience on top of everything else. That's huge when it comes to landing a great job. Now, let's be real for a minute. Nothing comes without challenges. The financial burden of tuition fees and living expenses was one of the biggest obstacles that I came across, and many fellow international students come across, because let's have it, a lot of us take on a lot of debt and risk in order to pursue those opportunities. Plus, international students have fewer options for scholarships and financial aids as well. It can be very disheartening, and in my case, it's super disheartening when I saw people who easily get financial aid and scholarships just because they are not on a visa, and people on a visa, international students, do not have a lot of access to these. So if you really need to plan ahead, you should look for other ways to fund your education, whether that's through a part-time job or personal savings or external scholarships, stuff like that. So be prepared for those kinds of things. Then there is this whole visa situation. So after graduation, it is not really guaranteed that you'll get the H-1B visa to continue staying in the US and continue working. So this application process is tough. There's usually a cap on the number of H-1B visas available each year. I have made a lot of videos now explaining why this cap exists. Just go take a look at those videos. It will give you a great primer on the H-1B situation and what actually is the challenge, because I want you to be making these decisions from a position of understanding the problem rather than just succumbing to rumors and what people say in general. Even against what I say, I want you to use your own logic, apply that, and let us know in the comments below if you have any more questions on that as well. Happy to help you out in your journey. But all that said, it doesn't mean that this journey is impossible. Lakhs of people make it happen every single year, and I am very sure that you can do it as well. So many students, they go on to secure great jobs in the US or return to their home countries with a valuable degree and work experience as well. And of course, there's this cultural adjustment thing as well. Moving to a new country from home can actually be very overwhelming at first. In fact, it pushed me to the brink of depression. I was completely lonely, had a lot of homesickness, but then somehow I had to figure it out because the show has to go on. But it's also one of the best ways to grow as a person, make new friends, explore new cultures, understand more people, and you'll learn new skills in this process. You'll learn to cook, you'll learn to save, you will learn to survive as an adult independently and adapt to different environments, come out stronger in the end. What do they say? Throw me to the wolves and I'll come back leading the pack, and that's what's going to happen with you. So how can you make sure you make the most of your time in the US and make sure that every penny is worth it? Here are a few tips to maximize your experience. Of course, this is not an exhaustive list. This is something that's worked for me. Of course, you can add a lot more things to this based on the situations that you go through. And also let us know in the comments, because it might help way more people as well. First of all, choose the right program. You're spending so much money. There's no use choosing a program where, you regret it every single day. So look for programs that align with your field that you have done your bachelor's in, or if you want to change fields, align it with your passion. And as much as possible, try to make it aligned with high demand fields like STEM, just science, technology, engineering, and math. Now, I am biased a little bit, but if you look on balance, like all the jobs in the US, most of the high paying jobs are in the STEM field anyway. Now, these fields are strong job prospects, like I said, and they are constantly evolving as well. Number 2, leverage networking opportunities. In the home country, we usually don't have a culture of networking a ton, but the US is all about networking. Make sure that you attend career fairs, alumni events, and also other networking events that your school offers. Not just that, make sure that you're talking a lot to the people that you come across, even that are working, because there will definitely be a thing or two that you learn from someone. And guess what? These are the people that you would otherwise have to spend a lot of money to learn from. And now you have access, free access to these people. All you have to do is go and ask them, hey, tell me about your work and tell me how I can help you. And then figure out a way to help them add more value to their work. You may need to do this for free in the beginning, but then find fun in that and you'll find yourself growing super quick. Make sure that you attend these career fairs, alumni events, and any other networking events that your school offers. And your next internship or job could come from the connections that you make today. Number 3, take advantage of internships. Internships are golden. Not only do they provide you a real-world experience, but they also are a great stepping stone to build your resume, evolve your resume, and also, to be honest, earn some money in the process. So apply for as many as you can and go for the ones that offer you an opportunity to explore your passions further should they convert it into a full-time job later on. Now, number 4, explore scholarship options. Now, don't explore scholarship options with the assumption that you will get one, but just go for the heck of it. Even the financial aid options might be very limited for international students, there's a certain type of fun and discovery and learning in at least aiming for it and pushing hard to see if you can get one. There are still plenty of scholarships though that international students can make use of. Start early. Look for these opportunities from both your universities as well as private organizations. Ask your international students office in your university. Ask your seniors about what opportunities they had as well and try to pursue those, because hey, most of the people don't ask around, and you asking around might be the main reason for your success as well. Number 5, prepare for cultural adjustment. It can be tough adjusting to a new culture and environment, but trust me, it's worth it. I've talked enough about this in my other videos and this video as well. So make new friends and use that experience to grow personally and professionally. It'll be a super rewarding experience. So studying in the US, is it worth the investment? Yes, there's a lot of mortgage that you take on. The short answer here is yes, it can be. It depends on you. The experience and these opportunities, the exposures, it all adds up to an amazing life-changing journey that you will be able to embark on. And make sure that you use everything that I am helping you with and a lot of other people are helping you with to make the best use of those opportunities that are around you. In fact, the biggest thing that consuming this kind of content helps you in is not necessarily inventing new opportunities. It is discovering the opportunities that are already around you, which most people don't know about. And that is your chance to go grab them. If this video helped you in your decision-making process, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. It doesn't cost you a dime, and hit that subscribe button for more tips and insights. This really helps us take our message to a lot more people. And if you have any questions about studying in the US, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you.